Okay, we now welcome on a very special guest. Very, very special guest.
Okay.
Two-time Super Bowl champion is Travis Kelce in the flesh. First of all, congrats on the Super Bowl. Has it worn off yet? I mean, can you say congrats on this? It's like saying Happy New Year in like February.
It kind of got revisited because of the ring ceremony, but I've kind of been past that for about a month now, month or two. There's been some crazy doors that have opened since then.
Yes.
That kind of, you keep reliving it. But other than that, though, man, I'll take it. I appreciate it.
Okay, yeah. Congrats on the Super Bowl. Do you respect the Lombardi Trophy? Because there was a conversation.
Oh, yeah, the real one for sure.
There we go.
The real one for sure.
When that went viral of you spiking the fake Lombardi Trophy, people got mad.
Did they? Yeah. They weren't too happy with that. I just thought it was like in terms of the theatrics of the show, because it was at the Kelce Jam, the idea I kind of got from Gronk and Gronk's Beach and Shaq's Funhouse. And I thought, just like doing a Lombardi luge, chugging off of the Lombardi and then spiking it would get the people going. Didn't really get the people going as much as I thought it would. A lot of people got on my ass about disrespecting it.
People that thought that it was the real trophy
are idiots.
Yeah,
they're morons.
Not us.
Yeah. I would never.
Yeah, we knew right away.
We knew right away.
I know Travis. He would not do that to the real thing.
Yes.
I don't know. Are you guys fucking with me?
No. We actually did defend you right away. There was some people named Billy Football. Some people named Will Compton.
Billy Football's been on my ass.
Yeah. We're gonna get to that.
Billy in a second.
We
can't bring Billy in right off the bat. No. That's too hot for any man.
People will be like, "What the fuck? You have Travis Kelce and Billy Football's on."
What were you gonna say at the White House when you took the mic?
I honestly, I joked around with doing it at the rehearsal, and I've always wanted to kind of just address the United States like a president would. You know what I mean? Like
you can do it right now
to my fellow Americans. And then I was like, I didn't have anything after that.
Yeah.
So
just the opportunity to say my fellow
so I
Americans.
told him, I was like, hey, don't leave me up there on the stand too long if I decide to walk up there.
Yeah.
He got me out of there before I could even fucking say anything.
Yeah, he had your back.
He
was smart on that.
It's either that or Secret Service is about to be on my ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Although they would have been like, oh, someone's standing in front of the mic that actually is awake for a change. Mm-hmm. Okay, that didn't land.
Did you look around to make sure there are no wires next to the microphone?
Listen, man, we were just making sure that Mr. President was just standing on his feet up there, baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Tell him high knees when he's going up the steps.
Yep.
Let him know. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. Sometimes we all got to get coached up every now and then. You know what I mean?
So speaking of which, we're at tight end. Is this your first year coming here?
Third year.
I didn't know if you were coming every single year, but third year this
I'm in
happening.
This thing.
You're giving a presentation though.
Yeah.
And what are you going to teach everyone? Because you are at the top of the game. You're the number one tight end. What are you hoping to help everyone else out with?
I think where I fit in this world, because George is going to talk a lot about the blocking. Greg's going to talk about, just being a professional and just the tight end that kind of like just pointers he can give from here and there just on the entire grand scheme of things. And I really fit in just in terms of route running, really, and I can kind of give my 2 cents on that. And I think there's certain things that you can do as a professional that can really help you enhance your creativity in route running. So I'm going to try and give some nuggets of gold to the tight ends here, man.
So your route running is incredible, but your ability with Patrick to be lockstep. Some of those clips that came out after the season where it's you telling him, hey, look, I'm going to do this and be ready for it. Is that something that is a superpower in terms of when you're playing against a defense, knowing that hey, whatever we are thinking, no one else can think this?
I like to think we got something going on in KC that's a little different. A lot of it just stems off of just getting reps with your guys, getting out there practicing, OTAs, preseason, all that shit. And you just start to accumulate a feel for what the quarterback likes to do or where he likes to kind of get you the ball in terms of certain coverages versus certain route concepts and shit like that. So it's just, I like to say there's a lot to it, but at the end of the day, it's just you do so many reps. It's whatever feels and kind of your instincts take over, whatever just feels like it's the right thing to fucking do in that moment, whatever makes sense, essentially.
It's awesome to watch. When you guys have that ability to he knows where you're going to be, you know where you're going to be. You can't defend it. I don't know how you defend it.
it feels unstoppable when it's rolling, baby.
Yeah.
It does.
The other thing I love watching you do, and you're like the only player that does this on a consistent basis, you always look for that last-minute lateral before you get tackled.
Yeah.
You're always – I'm on the record saying that shit's going to change football. Once more players start to do that. There's so many times where I can tell you're thinking about it, and you decide not to at the last minute, but when you pull it off, it usually works.
Yeah, I'm like 50-50 right now. For at least I haven't turned the ball over yet doing it.
Yeah.
So it hasn't completely fucked me. But I just feel like it's the most underused rule in the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
know, being able to lateral the ball, get it out of your hands so another guy can take off. I mean, shit.
Yeah, the way that tackling's coached at the NFL level, it's you swarm to the ball.
Swarm to the ball.
That means that your guys are going to be open.
Yeah, but it's just testing the waters is the hard part, because if you don't fucking get it, or if like it's not a huge gain, like you did it, let's say I lateral it, a guy catches it and gets like 2 extra yards. It's just like, why the fuck did you just risk the ball, turning the ball over for it? So it's like trying to balance that and at the same time making sure that everybody's always ready for the ball. Because
you ever get any shit from that, like from Coach Reid? Is he like, why are you doing this?
Don't fucking do it again. It was one of those, like the first time I did it was the Lions in 2017 or 18. And I pitched it to LaShawn McCoy, Shady.
Yep.
And Shady took off for an extra like 20, 25 yards. And I come to the sideline, and Coach Reid just kind of looked at him. I'm like kind of like staring from a distance, like, oh shit, is he gonna fucking give me the eye? Like I know I shouldn't have fucking did that. And he comes up to me after the game and he goes, imagine if we did that every play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like my mind just like opened up to like possibilities, dude. Just always know who's behind you. Know where the flat guy is, know where the running back's check down is, and just like always have that in the back of your mind that, you know what I mean? You're allowed to do it as long as you complete it.
That's a credit to Andy Reid, because you think most coaches would be like, don't ever do that again. But he's like, well, now we've unlocked something. What's your favorite Andy Reid story or like saying that he has for the team? We love Andy Reid.
My favorite saying is show your personality, man. The guy has such a fun personality in the building. I think the media kind of dulls that down. He doesn't give the media too much. But when you're in the building with him, man, it's almost like a comedy show, man. He has one-liners, and just his intellect is crazy. The span of stuff that he knows is just, it blows my mind. And yeah, show your personality is probably my favorite thing that he says, because it kind of just let me feel comfortable in the building. A good memory. I mean, shit, speaking of laterals, I tried to lateral it twice actually in the Bengals AFC Championship game. And I mean, it's the biggest game of the year up to that point, right? So I'm screwing around with the ball. Yeah, exactly. I'm over here throwing it. One barely got to a running back. It trickled to him and like hit the ground and like trickled to him. And then the second time is right before 2 minute. And I'm like looking at the guy thinking he might be able to get out of bounds because I can't. And I ended up holding on to it. And Coach Reid comes right out to me. He's like, stop it. And I was just like, I knew exactly what you're talking about.
You can see you got the eye of the tiger.
Dude,
you're trying to pitch that ball back every time.
I'm trying to keep this thing alive, baby.
Yeah. He wears shorts like all the time, doesn't he?
Yeah. He wears I don't think I've seen him in pants other than on away trips. Yeah. Even if it's like 5 degrees outside, he'll have a big old jacket on and some shorts.
He's a football guy.
Yeah. That's the best.
I love that. At the end of the that Bills Chiefs game, we were all watching. Maybe one of the greatest endings to any game ever played. Besides the Nuggets Lakers.
Yeah. Western Conference Final Game 1.
Game
one
one.
of the best games
That
ever.
was a great
nuts.
game.
Yeah.
But at the end of that game, 13 seconds left. Did you know that you were going to win the game just when you got the ball back? You're like, oh yeah, we have me and Patrick Mahomes on this team.
We knew what was possible. And what was possible is we could get in field goal range and take this thing in OT. There was definitely no doubt that we could do that. The thing is in KC, the coaching staff does such a great job of giving guys that confidence by like teaching guys what's possible. So every single Saturday, we got our coach Joe Blameyer pulling up 2-minute drills for before half and end of game. And he just goes over scenarios on what could happen. I'm talking about high school games to college games, all over Division I to Division whatever. And he just brings in these crazy footages of like Cal, Stanford, the band is on the field, like all these fucking bizarre fucking games that you would think aren't even possible. And he shows them and he's like, dude, they did this in like 13 seconds. Like, that shit is real. So as long as you guys are locked in and we're doing the things that we need to be doing, you know what I mean? We're never out of it.
Yeah, It was incredible. It was.
So it's a lot. I mean, obviously, Pat Mahomes, anything is possible with Pat Mahomes. But you add Andy Reid and his coaching staff into things, and guys just, you know what I mean? We're never out of it, man.
Can you gas me up on Bieniemy? So I'm a Commander's
fan,
yeah, right?
baby.
So,
you guys are getting a dog.
Dog?
A dog.
A dog?
He's a dog. He's gonna fire up that team, man.
I'm excited.
I think he's awesome for the core group of guys that you got. I'm sure you can ask Logan Thomas a few things since he's had his little offseason with him so far. But I think what Bieniemy does better than a lot of coaches is he's very organized. He's going to make sure that guys know what they're doing. And you'd be surprised how many guys go out there on the football field and are just fucking running around.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be an athlete, but at the same time, if you really want to get good at this game, you gotta have some sort of wits to you in knowing what's going on, the scenarios and the certain situations that you have in the game. And EB, man, he's every bit of that 13 seconds and making sure that we know what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. And I think that he brings that to every single team that he'll ever be on.
So you're a number one tight end in the league, incredible tight end, incredible player. But are there any moments where maybe you're like giving Patrick Mahomes a hug and you just hold on a little bit extra tight, where you're like, "Thank you for coming in my life. Like, thank you. I love you."
You know what? I might need to, man. I might need to, dude.
Just a little extra second. Just hold on a little extra second, being like, "I just love you so much."
After that Bills game was probably one of them, but definitely after this Eagles game, that was getting number 2, man. There's something about that second Super Bowl that just makes you feel like, you know what I mean, this is what you fucking do, man.
It's legacy territory. It is. It's like for you, for Andy, for Patrick Mahomes, like, and he really is that special.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I were you, I would just like never let him out of my sight.
I mean, I've been there 10 years going on 11, and you could feel like the different eras change throughout it all. I'm the last of the Mohicans, man. I'm the only player left from that 2013 draft class, or that 13 team when Coach Reid came in, and to go from that 2-14 season in 2012 where that I wasn't there, but to see just the culture change, both in the front office. You bring in these star players, and all of a sudden Patrick Mahomes comes, and it's just everybody just gets electrocuted, and possibilities are endless.
Yeah. How soon did you know after he was on the team? Like, what practice was it where you were like, this guy's different?
Honestly, his best plays might have been on that scout team going against the number 1 defense his rookie year. The shit he was doing in those practices was mind blowing. He had no like filter. He was just out there like, oh well, this doesn't matter. I can just throw it over here. Just right. Just the defense is just demoralized in practice. They're like, what the fuck? This kid's dicing us up right now, and you know what I mean. And then all these are scouted looks. We know what's coming. And once I saw him do it week after week after week, and then he finally went in against the Denver Broncos, a game that we were already had the number 1 seed in the playoffs and everything. They put Pat in to just, you know, get his feet wet his rookie year. They sat Alex because we already had the 1 seed. So he's plays flawless the entire game. We end up putting our backup in. Our backup fumbles the ball or throws an interception, and Denver actually gets back into the lead, and we need a 2-minute drill to win the game. Well, Pat goes back out there after being in like 5-degree weather on the sidelines, just chilling for a quarter, goes back in and just walks them right down the field. And that was Denver's number 1 defense.
Yeah.
That was their first team defense, because they were still in the hunt, or I know they were still playing their ones. So it was like, when I saw that, I was like, yeah, no, all right, he can translate what he does in practice onto the field and just be as good.
Mm-hmm. So after you win the second Super Bowl and you do the parade, you had the speech basically being like, and no one picked us, and people didn't pick us to make the playoffs. Who the hell were you talking about? I have one guy in mind, but can you tell me who you were talking about?
I mean, it wasn't necessarily once we got in the playoffs, because once we got in the playoffs, we were a different team. Everyone saw that we could still, you know, put up touchdowns and move the ball. It was really in the offseason. So I should have been a little bit more clear about that. But I heard a lot of people kind of shitting on the fact that, you know,
Tyreek was gone.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and I get it. Tyreek is fucking Tyreek Hill, man. Mm-hmm. You lose a guy like that, that's a lot of production that you got to find an answer for. And I just knew that we had a great team and that we had Pat Mahomes, and and Andy Reid, and so I just I don't know. All I could remember was being in April and May and June, and how everybody was saying that the Chiefs weren't going to be the Chiefs anymore.
Okay, because we do have one coworker who claims that he is, I think his official title is VP of Football Operation at Barstool Sports, Stephen Shea. He's a moron. He picked the Chiefs last year. Finished last in the division, 9-8. So he obviously was like, oh, Travis Kelce called me out. I was like, I think you're such a moron. He didn't even know who the fuck you are.
I have no idea.
Okay, good. Thank you.
But fucking dead last? God damn it.
Yeah, last. How stupid is that? We make the joke now, like,
I don't think you guys are any good.
You know what it is? Do you know what it is though? It's in media, because this happens to us, and it happens to everyone. They just get so tired of picking the same thing, so they're like, I'm going to be different. I'm going to say the Raiders. No, we've started doing this in the last like year and a half with you guys. Like, preview for AFC West next year right now. Chiefs win. Done.
I'm in.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's why do we always doubt just because we want to be different?
No, I think
everybody's got a job, man.
Next year.
1-16.
I don't think you guys can do it.
1-16.
Yeah. Who do you guys have on your team?
The real question is, who is the one team that we beat?
Well,
I think you do play the Bears.
I know. Actually, you beat the Broncos twice, because you always beat the Broncos twice.
Yeah.
So I'll say 2-15 is going to be your record. I mean, you lost Bieniemy.
Dude,
so
that's
there
true.
you go. There you go. You guys can't do anything without Bieniemy.
That's a big. He's a mentality kind of guy, man. He brings a mentality.
Yeah. Can we talk about the Super Bowl real quick? So, what point during the week did they tell you that the grass would be that way so you guys could prepare and the Eagles couldn't?
It was really just Sunday. Okay. You kind of went out there and you started running around like, all right, it's a little slick.
Okay, I don't believe you. And then when you win, did you feel bad for your brother at all?
Dude, it was a weird feeling at the end of that game, man, because been around the Eagles enough, know the coaches, know the players. They treat me like family whenever I'm there. When Jason comes to KC, it's the same thing. It's very like, a whole lot of respect for a lot of guys over there. You see Pat Mahomes, you're like, yeah. And then you see my brother, and it's just like, fuck, dude, I've lost a Super Bowl before, man. I know how this shit fucking feels. Fuck that.
Yeah.
And then you see Andy Reid, and you're back up on the top of the roller coaster, and then, you know what I mean? You see Lane Johnson, and you're just like, oh, fuck.
That's kind of like.
So it was like a up and down the entire time, and it was like, man, how the fuck am I supposed to feel about this right now?
Right.
Because I was there crying in, what was it, 2017 when the Eagles fucking won it in Minnesota. I was in fucking tears of joy, and it's just like, I don't know. It was a roller coaster of emotion for sure.
Now, have you tested the waters yet with like maybe at your family's house? Obviously, Thanksgiving hasn't happened yet, but maybe 4th of July, and just giving them the look like, yeah, I won a Super Bowl against you.
No, that motherfucker's crazy. I'm not I ain't barking up that tree, man. That's a bear you don't want to poke, man.
That's funny because I remember I think we asked John Harbaugh that, like, hey, have you ever like given the look to your brother, like, I got one on you? And he's like, no. He'll like hold my head underwater or something.
Yeah, dude. That's one game you don't want to fuck around with, man. That Super Bowl game, dude. Fuck that.
Yeah, it's interesting because I forget where we were. I think maybe we were at Chris Long's place or somewhere in Philadelphia, and Jason came over and he kind of walked us through a little bit of your guys' childhood, where it's like he played hockey and you played basketball.
Yeah.
And then he went on to become offensive lineman. You went on to become a tight end. And that's probably where the crazy aspect comes from.
Yeah.
Being a hockey player out there.
Yeah.
So you think he would still beat your ass?
Or what? Yes. The man is one of the strongest human beings I've ever met. And on top of that, he still has a little bit of that anger management that he had when he was a kid.
Yeah. But you can outrun him.
Dude, have you seen him run?
Really?
Dude, he's the fucking... He's good. He's good with angles. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna.
He's a math guy.
Endurance. I might have the endurance side of things, but I don't know, man. That dude's fucking quick.
So, what do you think is more challenging, being a podcaster or being a football player?
Podcaster.
Yeah, thank you.
It's the hardest job in the world.
Hardest job in the fucking world, dude. Yeah. Honestly, to keep coming out with content that people want to hear.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Congrats, by the way. Your podcast has been great.
Thank you, man.
But yeah, what? Are you going to plan on winning the Super Bowl every year to keep it at the top?
Or? I think that's the plan, man. You know what I mean? Hopefully Jason and the Eagles can meet us up over there, and we can keep freaking putting this Chiefs team together. I honestly jumped into the podcast game, not knowing what the fuck it was even really about, or how how things were even going to like transpire, but obviously with the Super Bowl and everything, it's just taken off, and we got a quite the following because of the entire year, man.
Did you hit that wall? Because whenever we've been doing it for a long time, it's obviously our job, but we'll have people reach out being like, oh, I'm thinking about starting a podcast. I'm like, just wait till like episode 4 when you run out of all your stories. You're like, oh, I have to do this again. Did you have that where it's like, okay, now we got to talk about something different?
Dude, thankfully my brother is a hell of a storyteller, and he just has them banked. I can't remember what the fuck happens until he tells a story. I'm like, damn, that did happen. Like I'm the worst when it comes to this shit. My brother's really the one driving it, and he tells a story like none other. So I didn't necessarily hit the wall, but I'm sure there was a little bit of there was an up and down there of just trying to balance out during the season and trying to find ways to do the podcast, because it's just it's hard just trying to find that time at week in, week out, especially going through the wins and the losses.
Yeah. Yeah. Should we have Billy come and say his piece?
Billy,
come on in. Come on, Billy.
It's interesting that you're on the show right now.
Come on in, Billy.
I can play you.
Come talk to baby
because
girl.
Billy will lie about what he
said.
said.
Only play it if he lies. Let him say it. I want to see it. I want to hear him try to say it.
Billy will lie about what he said.
I'll own up to it. I'm owning up to it.
Okay. Say the exact same thing you said. Say
it to his face. Look at him.
Okay.
To his face.
I have been a bit of a critic.
That's fair.
I'll put that out there.
That's fair.
Huge fan of your route running.
No.
Okay.
This is still truth.
Okay.
I just think you could be a little more. And congratulations on leading. Congratulations on leading the league in yards after the catch.
Thank you.
But you could end a couple of those, like run someone over. You could run a little more physical.
He thinks you run soft.
Yeah,
I think
soft.
I'm an agile runner, man. I'm an agile runner.
Crafty, but I think you're runner. You could run someone over. I think it's because you can, but you don't, and that's what.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, what you're saying isn't wrong. There's times where I turn on the film, I press play, and I'm like, that was soft.
Wow.
That was soft, yeah.
Billy.
I'm my own worst critic, so I'll admit to it. There are times at that. But there's times where I stick my fucking face in the fan. You can't say it's every time.
Yeah. But it has led to, such a long career that hopefully. Yeah, a lot of success. And yeah, but can you just run someone over?
Dude, I think what you're talking about is when I got body slammed by Derwin James.
It's exactly what he's
talking about.
It's exactly what he's talking about.
How do you let a grown man pick you up?
I would love to see everybody in this room be in that scenario against Derwin James.
I would have run him over personally.
Run him over?
Yeah, run him over. Yeah. Because I pride
that's an
myself.
Eric Bieniemy mentality,
I
right?
pride myself on being a physical runner and not soft.
All right, what about after and I'm not even going to fucking bring that up because that's going to sound like an excuse. I got fucking body slammed is what happened. We got the ball back though and we scored. I will say this, it was a fucking 10-play, 11-play drive, and I was dog shit tired. I had just fucking ran from the other side of the field, caught the ball, kind of made one move, was fucking on me like that. Like I cleared the first guy and he was on me like that. And yeah, I paid for it. So
dude,
I get it. I tried to get down there. I was just too fat and tired, man.
So Billy's critique's actually fair, you're saying?
No,
every now and then.
Look myself in the mirror, man. I ain't mad at it.
Irrational. I'm so sorry that you have to have someone.
Why are you apologizing? He agreed with you.
Dude. I get it, man. I need to
faster than anyone.
Yeah, this is a big moment for you, Billy. You stood up and you said it.
Yeah.
I actually
I need to impose my will on guys.
You
Billy,
do.
you're right.
You do.
I do.
I'm starting to agree with Billy a little bit more because I was hoping that you were going to take Billy out. You just let Billy body slam you.
Dude, listen, that was fucked up. You're going to make me fucking spear this guy.
All right, good job, Billy.
All right, Billy. Congrats.
Way to go, dude.
Billy knows ball.
All right, well, this has been awesome. I have one last question. It's a rowback question. RHOBACK.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, all of it, rowback.com.
That's a pro.
Okay, so.
Pro right there.
Thank you.
How are your ad reads?
No, you don't do them well?
We do it. We knock them out, but they're
bad.
We kind of freelance them. They're not well put together like that.
That was smooth, wasn't it?
It's my job, It's my job. Okay, so how many years, how many Super Bowls?
From here on out?
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
Let's put some numbers out there.
Man,
what you're guaranteeing, what you're hoping.
I would say I would hope for at least 2 more, man.
Okay.
2 more before I hang him up. I think I got 3 years left on my contract, and I say I'm going to do it till the wheels fall off. But there's a lot of variables to take in, especially with the podcast world and the entertainment world out there.
It's more important than any football game.
It's a new career that I'm very interested in.
It's also physically demanding. Like the longer you podcast,
No, not the way I play though.
The harder.
I would hope for 2 more, man. I hope for 2 more. There's a guy named Rob Gronkowski that's got 2 that I keep getting compared to, and I would love to, catch up to him, man.
Yeah, wait. All right, so this is kind of a fucked up question, but it's actually something I think about, and it's stupid to think about, and I'm wondering if you think about this as well.
Okay.
Mahomes, let's say probably has 15 years left. Have you thought, 10, 15, have you thought like, he's going to get a whole new family without me? Like he's going to have a whole new.
Dude, it's already starting.
Yeah.
It's already starting.
Would kind of fuck
I'm
with
the
you.
last. I'm the last fucking.
Yeah.
I'm the last one in the building. No, I think I have the mentality of trying to make sure that this thing keeps going.
Yeah.
So I'm here at Tight End U trying to help guys out. I'm trying to like give nuggets of gold or at least my input on the entire like grand scheme of things, so that this train doesn't fucking stop when I'm done, man.
That would mess me up though, being like.
No, it's 100% going to happen.
Yeah, like you'll come back for like the 10-year anniversary for the first Super Bowl ring, and Mahomes will be like, in the middle of like a 14-3 season. You just be like, "Oh, what's up, Pat?"
That's crazy.
Like, oh, you like your new toys?
That's crazy to fucking think about, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I bummed you out.
Yeah, like the next tight end.
Happens, man.
You don't want the next tight end after you to get more rings than you do.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a good point.
You should don't invite that guy to TEU.
Yeah, keep that guy away from TEU.
Nah, man. If it means Pat gets the rings, I'll give my 2 cents.
And also, eventually, like if you ask like 100 football fans on the street, like how many rings does Gronk have? People will be like, I don't know, 6 or 7, because they think Brady. So you get a certain amount away, you'll just get assigned all his rings. Yeah, right. No,
it's a great fucking point.
Yeah,
it's a great point.
It's like, I don't know, he won all those rings. He was on that team.
Do you do a Pat Mahomes impression?
It's got to be like fuck.
Okay, how about this? How about it's like alumni night 10 years from now, and you guys have 3 Super Bowls together, and he's on a team with a tight end that's got 2, and he comes up to you and he says, "Travis, I just like to say, once with you meant more to me."
That was that fucking Yoda?
Soft you run. Yeah.
I'm not even sure what you just fucking said, but
what do you want him to say to you in that moment?
In that moment, oh man, we had some fun, didn't we?
That's pretty good. That's pretty
You
good.
were always my number one. That's all you need.
You were always my
Yeah. When I'm passing the ball to Tim Tebow Jr., I'm thinking about you.
Jesus. Man, my only memory of Tim Tebow on the football field is him just throwing us a shellacking in the Sugar Bowl, man.
Were you on the game?
I was on the Cincinnati Bearcats. Yeah, I was on that Bearcats. There was we go undefeated. Brian Kelly goes to Notre Dame right after the season. We're playing with a bunch of like dads and like administrative like, I don't know, just guys from the University of Cincinnati. And we go in and play arguably one of the best football teams in college football ever in the Florida Gators that year. And that was fun. That was fun. Tebow, they said Tebow couldn't throw. Well, he threw for like 500 yards that day. So.
All right. Well, Travis, thanks so much, man. We appreciate it. You got to come back on now. That's part of the deal.
I'm in.
Anytime we ask, you have to.
Have to?
Yes.
All right, we'll find it.
It's a podcasting law.
We'll find time, baby.
Yeah.
We'll find time.
Thank you so much, man. This has been awesome.
No, you guys are fun, man. You guys are fuck you, Billy.